Greetings, Upstanders. Dr. O here. And to make it short, it looks like woke is back. But the question is for how long? When you look at the results of the 2025 elections that have taken place across the country, people made a stand that they value diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they want more of it. When obviously under the Trump administration, there's been a huge backlash to DEI, but now what we're seeing is a backlash to the backlash, which I've been saying for a couple of months, where people are tired of not being able to have conversations, and people are tired of fearing losing their funding because they talked about something relating to diversity, or having their speakers change subjects up, or getting various types of things in the curricula in schools out. People are tired of that. Across the country, we saw some school boards that got flipped blue. We saw, of course, now look, people talking about the big three races. You got Zoran Mamdani, first Muslim elected mayor in New York City. You also had Spanberger become the first female governor of Virginia, Mikey Sherrill, female governor, as well as it relates to New Jersey. But also going back to Virginia, Jay Johnson, first black attorney general to win that position. Also, you have who else? The first lieutenant governor who's Muslim and female, who's also elected to that position. You also had historic changes in terms of the Virginia board. I'm looking up some of the things that happened in Virginia that I'm going to be pulling up very shortly. But also across the country, you had Dorsey. Appliers becoming the first black mayor in Albany, Sheffield and Detroit black mayor, Lyles winning in Charlotte as well. You had Mississippi getting rid of the supermajority that they had there by electing 3 black elected officials. I'm on the GLAD website right now, and they are talking about not only, let me make sure I get this right as well, they are talking about not only were there historic wins in Virginia as it relates to LGBTQ candidates winning many of their races, but they also talk about the fact that many of the candidates who won across the country did not support anything relating to anti-trans legislation or anti-LGBTQ legislation as well. Like, that's really important. I'm seeing this, I'm reading here. Jason Jones was elected Attorney General of Virginia. Jason Jones, sorry about that. I made a mistake, the other name. Flipping the seat from the incumbent who misgendered transgender people and demanded Virginia hospitals refuse to treat transgender youth with best practice care that is supported by every major medical association. So, victories like that, are seriously important. Are seriously important. There's a certain number here. Oh, they said, here's what I'm looking for. All 8 out LGBTQ candidates for the Virginia House of Delegates won their races. According to the Victory Fund, 171 out candidates ran in 2025 general elections across dozens of states, the highest number in a non-federal election year. So the fact of the matter is, when you look at what's happened across the country, what happened in Georgia as well, like, you could run down the list. And people have made it clear that they want to have people who they want to see diversity. They want to see diversity, equity, and inclusion. They believe that matters. And so where's the rest of the country going to go? That's why I say, but for how long? What are these corporations going to do? All of these corporations who've been bending the knee for Trump and canceling all their DEI programs, canceling all of their money and DEI teams and things that were happening in those programs. What about these schools that have gone pro-Trump as it relates to Columbia and the like? That said, they're going to get rid of this and get rid of that. Like, what's going to happen as it relates to them? And going towards 2026, it's clear that many people are rejecting MAGA in many ways. Many people are seeing what happens when Trump is not on the ballot, which is why many people are going to fight to get Trump on the ballot in 2028. And that's something that people have to be mindful of as well. But again, this was an election that showed that Americans do indeed care about diversity. They care about programs that embrace diversity. And like I said, whether we're talking about school boards that flipped, whether we're talking about so many of these races, Mississippi, whether we're talking about so many black candidates who became mayor or retained their mayorship, whether we're talking about Boston, like, run down the list. And you will see that across the board, a strong statement has been made. Not only an anti-Trump message, not only an anti-MAGA message, but a message that clearly embraces people who represent diversity. And Democrats have been doing this as well. Massachusetts governor, LGBTQ as well. Like run down the list. It matters, but people need to not stop. They need to keep fighting. They need to keep fighting for people of all communities, from just disability community, LGBTQ, Black community, Latino, Asian, Muslim, Jewish. People need to continue to fight for all of these different groups so we can build that beloved community that Dr. King has talked about. And so for y'all who love the term woke and people like to have anti-woke legislation and all of these other types of things, I think it's fairly safe to say that at least for now, woke is back. What is the rest of the country going to do with that? Look, I'm not even a fan of the word, as you know. I have a whole chapter on it in my book that's coming out on trigger words. But y'all put that word out there. Why don't y'all put that back into the space right now? Because, well, the fact of the matter is many of y'all were using that term and had no idea what it meant in the first place, but it was just catchy and sounded good. Woke is dead. There's a place where woke goes to die and all of the other type of stuff. Look at these electoral results, and there are several that I'm missing that y'all will hopefully put in the chat, as well, to let us know and tell me that I'm wrong. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get to 25,000 subscribers. Let me know what you think. And remember what I like to say, why settle for outstanding when you can be upstanding? Peace.